Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today will be a bit of a simple video where I will just be sharing my overall thoughts on the current era of Doctor Who. I'm going to be honest throughout and tell you all what I like and also dislike about the Jodie Whittaker era of Who. I would love to also hear your thoughts, so please after the video comment below and hit that like button if you do end up enjoying this video. So let's start with the negatives and get it out of the way first. In my opinion, there has been way too much of the main cast so far in the show. Don't get me wrong, I do like Graham, Ryan and Yaz. However, unfortunately, because of the crowded TARDIS, I haven't connected with any of them on the level of previous companions. I feel this is mostly because we just haven't had that simple one-to-one relationship between the Doctor and companion that we were all used to before. Yes, we have had two companions rather than one in the past. But even then, the show has on purpose focused on only the Doctor and Amy and the Doctor and Bill first before introducing us properly to Rory and Nardole a few episodes later on. This approach could have worked a lot better if Graham was the main companion in Series 11 before Ryan and Yaz joined later on. Alternatively, even have the three companions switch each week with the Doctor could have been an interesting way to shake things up. One week you have the Doctor and Yaz, and then the next week it's the Doctor and Ryan, etc, etc. It also doesn't help in this era that the writers seem to love having big guest casts in mostly every episode. This wouldn't be such a problem if we didn't already have such a big main cast to focus on. Moving on to another issue I have with this era, and that would be the new villains and the overall quality of the standalone stories. Don't get me wrong, there has been some brilliant standalone stories like Rosa for example. However, it feels like the big strengths so far have either been two-parters like Spyfall, or big story arc heavy episodes like Fugitive of the Judoon. In Series 12, apart from Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, which felt like a superb standalone story from the RTD era, the others were sadly either pretty forgettable or just written quite poorly, which is a massive shame. I also feel with Series 11, for having 10 standalone stories and only enjoying half of them was not the best result. In terms of the new villains, apart from the Kablam men and maybe Tim Shaw, I feel the others have been pretty forgettable and none of the new creations have so far been as strong as the Weeping Angels, which were introduced in the RTD era, or the Silence, which was introduced in the Stephen Moffat era. Anyway, enough of the negativity and time to now move on to the positives of this current Who era. The first, and definitely biggest, would be Jodie Whittaker as the 13th incarnation of the Doctor. When Jodie Whittaker was originally announced back in 2017, I was super excited to see a female take on the role for the first time. I feel it's important with Who to try and get a person who is similar to the Doctor to play the role, and Jodie, definitely in my opinion, was the right person for the part. Jodie herself is such a lovely person, and you can tell in interviews how much she adores being the Doctor. 13 is someone who's full of hope, tries to always stay optimistic, has a loud but I'd say cute personality along with a great sense of humour. As always, this incarnation of the Doctor isn't perfect with being a pretty socially distanced Doctor at times, and probably relies on her companions for comfort a bit too much than she should. But in my opinion, those two things aren't negatives as a viewer, because the Doctor should always have flaws, because they are a person and at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. Another positive would be the Timeless Child arc and its inclusion so far in this era. Yes, I know this arc is very divisive. However, for myself, it's really got my interest in Doctor Who much higher than it's probably been for a bit of a while now. For starters, it has brought so many surprises that I just didn't see coming, such as the return of Captain Jack Harkness, the surprise introduction of a brand new, yes a brand new, unseen incarnation of the Doctor, and obviously the grand return and introduction of our brand new incarnation of the Master at the end of Spyfall Part 1. Along with those amazing surprises, we now have a whole new backstory to explore with the Doctor. I understand this development isn't for everyone, but for me I think it adds new life to the Doctor rather than taking anything away. I'm so intrigued to find out, why did the Time Lords wipe the Doctor's memory? Where does the Fugitive Doctor come into this? How many unseen incarnations are we yet to learn about? So many questions, and I am now extremely excited for the future of Who, as I'm sure we will further explore this arc in the next few seasons to come. I also think the writers have managed to write returning villains near enough perfectly in this current era. That includes the Daleks, the Master, the Judoon and the Cybermen. With Series 13 set to reintroduce more iconic villains of the show, I am very intrigued to find out where this takes the era next and what lies ahead in future years to come. Overall, that is pretty much my thoughts of the Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall era so far. But as always, what do you all think? Are you a fan of the current era, or are you more excited for the next showrunner days to come? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and possibly subscribe for future Whovian content. I really do appreciate it. Thanks all for watching, take care, and see you on the next one. See you next time.